All right, I get all the time people asking, what is a day in the life of a tech sales account executive? First of all, I want to say this. There is a lot of material out there for you to do public facing research on this. And I think you're going to get it probably as many people out there as you're talking to, you're going to get just as many different answers. Largely, what you do as an account executive, I'll start from really high level and kind of work way down to be more detailed, is your job is to help customers solve problems. If you do that well, you'll get compensated really well, because in tech sales, you get compensated based on commissions and specifically how much revenue you generate for the company you represent. You only generate revenue if customers agree to pay you, and therefore you will have solved some of the challenges that they're facing or the problems that they're facing, because that's why they pay you. All right, so it all starts with solving problems for customers. Once we do that, once we understand that, it gets to be a little bit more detailed. How do we solve problems for customers? Why are we doing this? How do we do it well? Who's going to help us with this? How often are we solving problems? Besides solving problems, what are the other tasks and activities that we're responsible for? So the best way to articulate this is I'm going to quickly take you through the sales process, which is essentially what you do over and over and over. And you're going to do it for different customers and different challenges and problems they're facing. So the sales process typically applies to what we call an opportunity. And you could have several opportunities with one customer, or you could have one opportunity with a customer, but essentially it's a challenge or a problem. It's a specific opportunity that we have or a problem that the customer has that we're trying to help them with. So we could have several different problems we're helping one customer with, right? Ideally, we want to have several customers and several problems at each customer that we're helping them solve. The sales process typically starts with territory and account management, which is where we analyze the territory. All the different companies that we're given are responsible for prospecting into and helping them solve problems. We analyze all that, and we're going to eventually prioritize it and choose the top few. Once we whittle it down to like the top 10, we're going to then look at those accounts or companies. We call them accounts in tech sales. We're going to look at those accounts and we're going to analyze who should we be talking to at these accounts. And we're going to base that off of the problems that we're really good at solving and the challenges that we think they're facing, right? Once we determine who we're talking to, it could be marketing, it could be operations, it could be sales. We're then going to come up with messaging. What is compelling about what we do and the challenges that they have, where they would respond to us and want to talk to us because they believe we can actually help them? Then how would we message these people, and how frequently should we do it in order to get hold of them and let them know, like, hey, we have something that we think can help you? This is quickly going to transition into the prospecting or business development phase. Once we've established all that, now we actually execute. We go do it. We're going to start reaching out to folks and basically asking, we think you have this problem. Do you have this problem? And if you do, are you open to having us help you solve it? They're going to say yes. Sometimes they're going to say no, but when they say yes, we move on in the sales process and we go into the discovery phase, where we start actually meeting with the customer and trying to get a much better understanding of the challenges through their lens, through their perspective. And we're trying to figure out not just if we can help, but how we can help. And we're having this great dialogue back and forth. And this discovery phase typically lasts, depending on what you're selling, it could be as short as a few months, or it could be as long as a year or longer. Right? If you're selling very complex solutions or solving very complex, really big problems, the sales process typically extends and is longer in direct alignment with the complexity of the problems you're solving. So in the discovery process, there's other maybe sub-processes I'll just touch on. There's like the demo phase. There's maybe a trial phase where they're going to try out your solution or product for a period of time. Eventually, we're going to get to a point towards the end of the discovery phase where we're going to agree that we've come up with a solution for your problem. Once we've agreed that we have a solution for your problem, we're going to develop a formal proposal, call this maybe the proposal phase, and we're going to propose, this is formally how we want to solve your problem. These are the things we're going to do. This is how long it's going to take. This is who we're going to partner with, and this is how much it's going to cost. Now, the proposal phase is important because ultimately everything you've been doing in the discovery phase leads up to this, essentially short period of time where you're just articulating everything we've just discussed over the last several months, presenting it in a nice form so that the customer can digest and understand it. Typically, the decision maker is present in the proposal phase, and they say, yes, this looks good. This is what we've been talking about. We agreed on. Let's move forward. They sign, pay. Now we move into, well, let me pause. There's also, under the proposal phase, a subsection would be the negotiation phase, where we might have to negotiate back and forth, and then eventually they sign. We move into the implementation or delivery phase, where we actually do the thing, build the thing for them. And then ultimately, that's where we also begin the handoff with either a project management team or customer success. They tend to take over at many organizations. A lot of times the account executive is still involved and is making sure things are going well. And sometimes is also still involved with the next phase, which is the renewals phase or upsell phase. So largely at any given time, you're in one of these stages with any given customer for any given problem you're trying to help them solve. So what is a day in the life of an account executive? It's being in one of these stages, doing the activities required in these stages for any customer at any time.